Hello friends, hope you are doing well. My name is Dr. Anuj Kumar. I am making a series on uh, organometric complexes. I have already uploaded 4 videos on this topic by discussing organometric complexes, their types, in rule, and last 2 videos were based on metal carbonyls, their types, and their typical structures under the light of 18 electron rule. We also discussed some bridging and terminal carbonyls. Today we are going to discuss bonding between carbonyl ligand and transition elements. And I believe after watching this video, you will be able to solve very comprehensive problems related to bond order, bond frequencies, and various factors affecting carbonyl complexes. Let's start. Bonding of CO with metals. After discussing this topic, we will find the interesting understanding of bond order, bond frequencies, and various factors affecting. As you know, the valence bond structure of carbonyl, where a triple bond exists between carbon and oxygen, and oxygen has one positive charge and carbon has one negative charge. The valence shell of carbon has 4 electrons and the valence shell of oxygen has 6 electrons, and overall 10 electrons are present in the valence shell of carbon monoxide molecule. According to molecular orbital theory, when atomic orbitals combines to each other, then it will form same number of molecular orbital. As you can see, atomic orbitals of carbons combines with atomic orbitals of oxygen and forming molecular orbital of carbon monoxide. I am writing here molecular orbitals of carbon monoxide. When 2s atomic orbitals of carbon combines with 2s orbitals of oxygen, then they will form 2 molecular orbital. One is anti-bonding molecular orbital and another is bonding molecular orbital. Anti-bonding molecular orbital represented by star because it has higher energy as compared to bonding molecular orbital, as represented here. This is sigma and this is sigma star. Similarly, when 2p atomic orbital of carbons combines with 2p atomic orbital of oxygen, it will form 6 molecular orbitals of carbon monoxide. It has been observed that axial overlapping can form only sigma bond, and it's noticed that pz orbital, when pz orbital of carbon atom combines with pz orbital of oxygen, then it will form sigma bond. That means 2 pz components are combining, then they will form 2 molecular orbital, and they are sigma overlapping, so they will form sigma bonding molecular orbital and sigma anti-bonding molecular orbital, as represented in this diagram, sigma star, and this is sigma. Now remaining 2 p component px and py combines with 2 remaining components px and py of oxygen atom and form 4 molecular orbitals, because this overlapping is side by side overlapping, so they will form pi bond, and as represented here, they will form 4 molecular orbitals. There are 2 molecular orbitals are here, 2 molecular orbitals are here, pi 1 and pi 2, because these are bonding molecular orbital, because they have less energy as compared to anti-bonding molecular orbital. So the pi 1 and pi 2 are the pi bonding molecular orbital, and pi 1 star and pi 2 star are the anti-bonding molecular orbital of CO. Now, if we look at the bond order calculation, now 10 electron, we have 10 electrons in valence shell of carbon monoxide, and if we start to fill up the electronic configuration of carbon monoxide, then they will put 2 electrons here, 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 because one component, one orbital can have only two electrons. So the bond order is equal to 1 by 2 bonding electrons and anti-bonding electrons. If we look here, we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, overall 8 bonding molecular orbital, because bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital we represented by star, and we have anti-bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding electrons, only 2 electrons here present in sigma star, so we minus 2, because the formula is 1 by 2 bonding electrons minus anti-bonding electrons. So bonding electrons are the 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here, so overall 8 electrons are here, and 2 anti-bonding bonding electrons are present here, so I minus 2 from 8, so we will find 1 by 2 multiplied by 6, and this is 3, so we obtain 3 bond order between carbon and oxygen, in which one bond is sigma and other 2 bonds are pi bonds, because we have 2 pi star orbitals now. If we look the orbitalic structure of carbon monoxide deeply, then we will find these 2 pi star, because pi 1 star and pi 2 star. I represented by dotted line. This line, that means orbitals, these orbitals and this orbital and this orbital will form a positive, negative, anti-bonding molecule, because so they can't overlap, because different symmetry. If positive here and positive here, then they can combine with each other and form bond. So I represented by opposite sign, because they can't combine, because they are anti-bonding molecular orbital. So these are the pi 1 antibonding, pi star 1 antibonding molecular orbital, and this dotted line also represented by orbitals, and this plus minus plus, this orbital is pi 2 star, because we have 2 anti-bonding pi orbitals, pi 1 star and pi 2 star. I represented here like this, and these 2 anti-bonding orbitals are empty. As you can see here, there is no electrons are filled up till here, so these both orbitals are vacant, so they can accept electrons from any external source, which can easily donate electron density. And definitely, if these orbitals will accept electron density, this electron density will be pi star orbital electron density. That means this is pi acceptor ligand. Similarly, one negative charge exists on carbon atom. That means a lone pair is present on carbon atom. It acts as a lone pair electron density, and this electron density can be transferred to another species, to any species which has electron deficiency. So it will represented by sigma donor tendency. So this ligand is sigma donor and pi acceptor ligand. Now we are going to study about transition element. If we look, transition elements have d orbitals in its valence shell, and d orbitals is always electron deficient except Zn. Zn also doesn't know transition element, because it has completely d orbital, d10 electronic configuration. So dd electronic transition is not possible in Zn, so Zn is not transition elements. Another elements like scandium, titanium, vanadium has already vacant d orbital, and this is the simple representation of d orbital. D orbital has five components: dx, dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, dz square. And when these d orbitals come into the contact of any ligand, they start to distort it. That means their energy will increase, and then this d orbital will split into 2 parts: EG orbital and T2G orbital, where T2G orbital has dxy, dyz, dzx, and this group is known as non-axial group because the lobes of d orbital of these orbital dxy, dyz, dzx will lie in between two axes. In contrast, EG orbital has two components, dx square minus y square and dz square, and this group is known as axial group. If you look carefully, then you will find that EG orbital always will have less energy density as compared to T2G orbital. Because if you have some electron density, then first of all you will put electron density in these orbitals, and then after filling this, then you will transfer this the electron density in EG orbital. So EG orbital always less in electron density as compared to T2G orbital. So it is easy that when you can say that EG orbital is electron deficient, and T2G orbital always have much electron density as compared to EG orbital. Because it has electron deficiency, so it can accept some electrons from another source and form sigma bond. So it is, this orbital is the sigma acceptor, and because it has some electron density, much electron density here present in T2G orbital, so it can transfer some electron density to another species. So it is pi donor orbital. Now if we look the interaction between carbon monoxide and metal, because I have already discussed the orbitalic structure of metal and orbitalic structure of carbonyl. Now you have this carbonyl ligand CO, which has triple bond here, triple bond and positive charge on oxygen and negative charge like a lone pair on carbon atom. Okay, and this molecule has two pi star orbital, pi star 1 and pi star 2. I represented only one orbital, and these orbitals are always empty. So I represented by here like this, 1 or 2, any pi star orbital can be here, and these orbitals are vacant, electron deficient, where metal has two types of orbitals groups, EG and T2G. I have already discussed that EG always electron deficient and T2G is electron rich as compared to EG orbital. Because carbon monoxide has lone pair density, so this electron density will be transferred into EG orbital and forms sigma bond. Okay, first interaction of carbonyl with metal is the formation of sigma bond by transferring electron density from carbon to EG orbital of transition element. Second interaction step is this, that T2G electron, which is electron rich, T2G electrons will be transferred into the antibonding, pi star antibonding orbital of carbon monoxide and formed pi bond. This type of bonding is special bonding and known as pi back bonding. This process is the pi back bonding, because pi back bonding is any transfer of electron density from one species to another species, which is completely electron density never transfer. Some little electron density can be transferred. Okay, this type interaction, this type transfer is the pi back donation of electron density. So now we have cleared the interaction of carbonyl ligand with metal, where you have already understand that this lone pair will be transferred into EG orbital and formed one sigma bond, and T2G electron density will be transferred into anti-pi star antibonding molecular orbital and form little partial bond, not completely bond, partial pi bond, and that means here is pi character. So now you can see that bond order between carbon and metal, bond order